Evening, everybody. Welcome to our May 9th regular council meeting. First of all, I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Robinson Superior Treaty Territory and that the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and Métis. Can we have approval of agenda for tonight? Under unfinished business, we got E4M Solutions. That'll be number one. It's the only item under unfinished business. And that's all I have. Hearing no more, any disclosures of interest? Hearing no disclosures of interest, we have one delegation tonight, and it's Mr. Nesbitt for White Sand Lake, and
am I going there, standing here? Where do you want me?
I mean, if you want to see your kids.
I don't know if I want to get in the middle of it.
give you 10 minutes for your presentation.
Thank you, worship, for your worship, counselors, Anne Marie online, wherever she is. I'm going to make a quick little chat about White Sand, although I'm kind of laughing looking at 3 counselors that live on a lake and the mayor that basically lives on a lake. So hopefully you understand the importance of enjoying the lake. So I've got one request tonight, or one ask tonight, and then one request. So my ask is that a new dock be put in the budget, in this year's budget for White Sand Lake. There's been a dock at White Sand for well over 60, 70 years. The Kinsman Club started it all. Township of Schreiber took it over some time ago. Roughly 4 or 5 years ago, the dock was in the budget. Unfortunately, COVID hit. The dock was not purchased. Obviously, in hindsight, the dock should have been purchased and put in the hydro garage in storage, because I'm pretty sure the dock's probably double the price now. It is what it is. So that's my ask, is that I know lots of people want a dock out there. So my request is, the Township of Schreiber obviously does strategic planning. I'd like the Township of Schreiber to consider White Sand Lake as part of, or to be involved in the strategic plan. I'd like to look at a complete revitalization of White Sand Lake, which includes the beach road with new sand, potentially new grass, playground equipment, fire pits, fixing up the bathrooms, parking lot improvements, widening the boat launch and the boat launch parking area, brush trimming along the road. So then I guess the big ask, and the reason why I say kind of in the next 5 years for this one, is that hopefully we can form a partnership again with the, I don't know if it's the Ministry of Natural Resources that we did the road with 15 years ago, or whatever it was. I believe the ministry paid for all that road, actually, if I remember correctly. So hopefully, I mean, obviously I don't want to see taxpayers' dollars necessarily spent out there. As much free money as we can get, I'd like to see utilized. Biggest reason that I really believe White Sand is an asset is because it's an economic development tool. You know, the unfortunate thing is when people think of economic development, they think about bringing people into our community. What they always overlook is keeping people in our community. So if you can keep a lot of residents in our community every weekend instead of going out of town, the money stays here. Obviously, those of you that have been to White Sand in the last couple of years, I mean, the beach is being used. I don't think anywhere to its nearest potential. It definitely needs some improving, for sure. I mean, the sand's terrible, but you know, there's no dock to go to, so on and so on. But it is still used quite a bit. Every time I'm in my boat, there's people on the beach. So I think it's a huge economic development tool for Schreiber and Terrace Bay. Yeah, so that's my ask. I mean, this year, like I said, ideally I'd like to ask for a dock to be put in the budget. It would be nice if we could tune the sand up, but again, right now I don't believe the town has the pit anymore. So we don't really have access to free sand, so to speak. I mean, obviously we'd still be using equipment and whatnot. But that's the short term. Long term, I mean, I think there's lots of other stuff that can do. I haven't been out there yet this year. Potentially I'll go out the next couple of weeks and look. I know Red had offered to give me a hand fixing up the bathrooms. The bathrooms need to be re-leveled. There's nothing really wrong with the bathroom out there, it just needs to be re-leveled. So we can do that under the cover of darkness at midnight. No one has to know that we fixed it up. Save the taxpayers some money there. But so that is my ask. Any questions, comments? When's the budget finalized? Soon?
That'll be.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the cat's got my tongue. You still got 6 minutes left.
How much?
I can round it more.
How much sand
was brought in there in the past, like, is that the only way the sand got there was?
No, well, there was sand originally. The downside is I know the one year the high water was there, and the high water kind of dragged a lot of it out into the lake. So I remember when the last time we did a revitalization, mini revitalization out there would have been, I'm gonna guess 15 years ago maybe, and I would be like, Joey, there's a whole crew of us out there anyways. The town brought in, I'm gonna guess 15, 20 dump truck loads like from the town pit and spread it. And then fish had been out there since then. Maybe about 8 years ago, there was a group of volunteers who were, you know, like grinding up the beach and whatnot. Fish backbladed and got a lot of the sand off the beach. I think the downside that happened in hindsight is when he backbladed, I think it stirred a lot of the grass up. Now there's kind of grass growing everywhere. So, you know, it'd almost be nice to have the beach dug down even like a foot, throw that sand somewhere else and put new sand in. But, you know, again, equipment on the beach. I know there's lots of clay there, so you gotta be careful in the spring because it's pretty squishy. I know that's one of the issues with the lawn always being uneven. I mean, how do you keep a nice lawn when there's, you know, it's always heaving, right? So, and potentially, I mean, it's maybe an opportunity to start a committee. You know, we could have a Friends of the White Sand or something, right? At least then if we get volunteers. Anytime I've run 3 or 4 clean up the beach nights, and we've had anywhere from 6 people out to 30 people out. I mean, people do still want to use the beach. They're interested in keeping it up and whatnot, so.
If you had the ability to screen what was there, you could probably see a lot of it, right?
And I look, the school board has a machine that they do the tracks with that pulverizes everything. And the school board's willing to do it, not just do it, but they'll send the guy out there to do it. When they were coming through to do the track, it just read what couldn't coordinate, you know, at the same time and whatnot. But the school board was willing to do it. I know, I'm having a brain fart now, the new guy's in Red Rock. He's a town councilor in Red Rock. But anyways, he's the new guy in charge of it, and he's got no problem doing it. So that's an option. Because I had looked at kind of, I thought, what if we could rent a screener? Because exactly that, right? If you could almost dig the sand up that's there, screen it, put it back down, get rid of the rocks and the grass, you'd be done. So I just don't know, you know, how much is it to rent. The school lent me the tines or whatever you call them. I drag behind the quad to stir everything up. But I mean, again, you're not getting all the grass. So within 2 weeks, the grass is broken up again. So
how much of a input does MNRF have on doing work along the lake shore? Is that something?
I don't know. Like nowadays, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
like I know when we did it, it was just don't ask any questions. And we weren't in the water, but you're right near the water. So you definitely have to be careful.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I don't even know right now where it stands with the township of Schreiber. Years ago, from what I understood, the township had like a partnership or an agreement or something with the ministry. I got no idea where that's even at now. You know?
It's authorized through a land use permit.
Oh, I said, okay, I wasn't sure if there's even anything still going on. I mean, it'd be nice to have a playground out there again and whatnot, right? But all that was ripped down because of safety and all the rest of that. But, you know, I think we start with a dock and take some baby steps to get the beach used again.
Well, we're looking at doing a strategic plan, we're waiting on funding and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And my goal always is I don't want to use taxpayers' money or use it as effectively as possible. If we got to kick some seed money in there and we get free money, and free money's the best money, right?
Yeah, like what's the alternative to White Sand Lake for swimming for the general public? Like,
Yeah, there's really nothing, right?
Nothing.
Yeah, Lake Superior, that's it, right? I mean, and I hate, not that I should say it's a Schreiber council, but I know the last couple of years, there's probably more Terrace Bay people at that beach than there has been Schreiber people when I'm at the beach. So, and which in the past, I didn't see many Terrace Bay people normally there, but Schreiber people. So maybe I'll go to Terrace Bay Town Council next and ask for some money too.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and we'll definitely consider it.
Thanks for your consideration.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Okay,
Gals and gals, Henry.
you still got 2 minutes left. You're more than welcome to stay for the whole meeting.
Yeah, no, I'm going to split wood. When you're done here, you can all come over and split a few pieces.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to question period.
No questions.
No questions, eh? Okay, so start the reading marathon. Minutes of the previous meeting. Resolution 153-23. Moved by Councilor Morrow, second by Councilor Bryson, that the minutes of the council and committee of the whole meeting held April 18th, 2023 be accepted as circulated. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Is there any business arising from the minutes? Committee of the Whole recommendations. Resolution 154-23. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that resolution 243-22 be rescinded in its entirety. Discussion?
Nathan, do you just want to let people know what that resolution was?
Yes, that was the, that was the resolution for the, I'll let Marlene,
Community safety and well-being plan,
community safety well-being plan. Do you want to?
that it was being funded
discuss
through
the-
infrastructure, it's being funded elsewhere.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Thanks for that. All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 155-23. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that council transfer to the library donations and fundraising reserve $500, which represents the donation received in 2022 for a project not completed in 2022. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 156-23. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that council transfer from the property tax allowance for doubtful accounts $524,878.97 into operating for the year ending December 31st, 2021. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 157-23. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that council approve the expenditure request and approval to proceed from the Ontario Clean Water Agency for a UV 254 portable analyzer in the amount of $3,218.16, including applicable taxes. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 158-23. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor McGrath. The council accept the quotation from Barco Products Canada in the amount of $5,213.10 plus applicable taxes for 6 waste receptacles. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 159 -23, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bryson. That council accept the quotation from the funny hypnotist in the amount of $3,800 plus applicable taxes to perform 2 shows during Heritage Days. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 160-23, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson. The council accept the quotation from EDLA in the amount of $1,600 plus applicable taxes, accommodation and meals for 3 59-minute sets of live music and DJ services in between each set during Heritage Days. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 161-23. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor McGrath. The council accept the quotation from Fantastic Castles in the amount of $4,480 plus applicable taxes for travel, setup, supply of power, and operation of bouncy castles, water slides, games, and dunk tank for 6 hours during Heritage Days. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried.
Just make sure we get that brown water back this year.
Yeah. Resolution 162-23. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that the Lake Superior High School students be approved for a grant and aid in the amount of $1,062.80, excluding applicable taxes, for the use of the community hall June 17th, 2023 and June 18th, 2023. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 163-23. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson. The council declare the unused square system with chip reader and Apple 8th generation iPad as surplus assets to be disposed of, and that the items be advertised locally for best offer. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 164-23. Moved by Councilor Morrow, seconded by Councilor McGrath, that council provide a financial support for the Schreiber Business Networking event in the amount of $150. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. What was the last one, Nathan? Sorry.
164.
Resolution 165. -23, moved by Councilor McGrath, seconded by Councilor Bryson. The council accept the 2022 annual summary report of the Schreiber wastewater treatment plant as prepared by the Ontario Clean Water Agency on behalf of the Township of Schreiber. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 166-23. Moved by Councilor Morrow, seconded by Councilor McGrath. The council transfer from the infrastructure reserve $77,046.54 to cover the cost of greater transmission project as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 167-23. Moved by Councilor Bryson, seconded by Councilor Morrow, that council transfer from the infrastructure reserve $36,676.29 to cover the cost of the hopper replacement on the 2007 International Plow/Sander truck as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 168-23. Moved by Councilor McGrath, seconded by Councilor Morrow, that council transfer from the water and sewer reserve $17,023.40 to cover the cost of the Ontario Street Water Main Reline design and tendering project as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 169-23. Moved by Councilor Bryson, seconded by Councilor McGrath. The council approved the use of the OCIF funding in the amount of $181,790.52 to cover the cost of the Phase 1 ESA building upgrades at the wastewater treatment plant as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 170-23. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that council transfer from the Water and Sewer Reserve $18,640.64 to cover the cost of the blower air distribution failure at the wastewater treatment plant as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022. All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 171-23. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that council transfer from the infrastructure reserve $33,249.43 to cover the cost of the design, engineering, and project management for the wastewater dechlorination project as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 172-23. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor Morrow. The council transferred from the infrastructure reserve $20,286.11 to cover the cost of the GPS systems and building security camera projects as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 173-23, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Morrow. That council transfer to the Water and Sewer Reserve $5,000 representing the cost for the water reservoir inspection as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022 but not spent in 2022. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 174-23. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath. The council transfer to the Water and Sewer Reserve $19,291.84, representing the unspent portion of the water treatment plant turbidity analyzer 5 project as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 175-23. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Morrow. The council transfer to the Water and Sewer Reserve $11,025.33, representing the unspent portion of the dam phase 1 project as budgeted in bylaw 34-2022. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 176-23. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath, the council transfer to the provincial dedicated gas tax reserve fund $17,286, which represents funding received in 2022. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 177-23. Moved by Councillor Bryson, second by Councillor Morrow, the council transfer to the federal gas tax reserve fund $67,172.70, which represents revenue received in 2022. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 178-23. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that the Council of the Township of Schreiber support Resolution 2023-01 of the Northwestern Ontario Municipal Association with respect to a call to the provincial government to address homelessness in Ontario. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Accounts for payment. Resolution 179-23. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that checks issued on the general bank account in the month of April 2023 in the amount of $214,140.85 for general accounts payable be approved and ratified. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 180-23. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that bank debits issued on the general bank account in the month of April 2023 in the amount of $56,269.74 for payroll be approved and ratified. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 181. Finished business. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath. Council authorized, excuse me, the council authorized the payment of invoice number 2446 from Expertise for Municipalities in the amount of $21,240, excluding applicable taxes. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Move on to other business. Resolution 182 23. Moved by Councilor McGrath, seconded by Councilor Morrow. That bylaw 14-2023 being a bylaw to authorize the execution of a tax arrears extension agreement pursuant to section 378 of the Municipal Act 2001 be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 183. Dash 23, moved by Councilor Morrow, seconded by Councilor Bryson. That bylaw 15-2023 being a bylaw to authorize the execution of an agreement between the Corporation of the Township of Schreiber and His Majesty the King in Right of Ontario, as represented by the Minister of Natural Resources and Forestry, Municipal Forest Fire Management, be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? All those in
Nathan,
favor?
this is the agreement
Oh,
that the
sorry.
fire chief brought to us last meeting, right?
Oh, pardon me?
This is the agreement that the fire department chief brought to us at the
That's
last
correct.
meeting, right?
Yes.
Yeah. All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 184 -23. Moved by Councilor Bryson, seconded by Councilor McGrath. That bylaw 16-2023 being a bylaw to adopt a new policy for water service and sewer lateral repairs and to rescind bylaw 25-2009 be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried.
Nathan, this up-to-date bylaw will be posted on our website for our residents to see, yes?
The policy certainly can. We do post the bylaws, and in some cases, some policies are internal policies and some are external. This is certainly an external policy, so it makes sense to post that out.
Okay, thanks.
Resolution 185-23 moved by Councilor McGrath, seconded by Councilor Morrow. That bylaw 17-2023 being a bylaw to adopt a policy for vacant water shutoffs be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried.
Just as a note, again, nothing has changed with this vacant unit shut-off policy. It was just required to be passed again due to us rescinding the old bylaw that adopted the old lateral repair policy.
Right.
Resolution 186-23. Moved by Councilor Bryson, seconded by Councilor McGrath. That bylaw 18-2023 being a bylaw to authorize the execution of agreement between the Township of Schreiber and Precambrian Natural Service Trails Incorporated, Hobbit's Corner to Schreiber Beach Trail Engineering and Feasibility Study be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. So now we'll move into our committee of the whole portion of the meeting with the department reports and Director of Operations, the status report.
So at the Discovery Center there, Tammy, are we gonna do something so this doesn't happen again?
Absolutely.
So are we gonna just like install a sump pit?
Yeah, we've already got the sump pump now. We will create a pit in the basement and
Yeah.
permanently vent it, outside, and it will just dump right back into the creek.
So this
That
didn't
is-
it didn't happen last year?
It did not.
It's bizarre. Okay. It just seemed like there was way more water last year.
What happened was when the water started backing up in the ditch,
Oh,
it breached the top of the conduit that was in the ditch by that pole where they ran the internet. So we provided an in for the water.
Yeah.
So we're gonna extend that conduit and we're going to install the sump pump on a permanent basis, so we should not have this issue again. The good news is that no damage was done to the HVAC system.
Yeah,
That's
that was good news.
That's awesome.
And it was discovered rather quickly.
Very quickly, yeah, that morning, the water was just suddenly there, and the guys opened up
Yeah.
the culverts very quickly, and we got on the Discovery Center very quickly.
Yeah, good work there.
The splash pad, is it likely that we could have an opening before the school year is done?
And school year ends
The
on
June 29th?
June 29th.
I expect so. It should be ready to go by the end of May when we do the training with our staff.
Mm-hmm.
So I would expect that it will be, we'll have to clean the washrooms and make the best of that situation
Yeah.
until construction can happen, but I expect that we should be good to go by the end of May.
Okay, and you didn't want to wait till after Bruno's is down? That's not an issue?
I don't think it will be an issue at all, no.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
I think, everyone's waiting for the water to come on. I think when we are able to get the water on, that's when you should do that opening and take advantage of whatever activities they're after to promote that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything special, but I
Yeah.
mean, I would invite, if you did it during the week, invite all the kids. Be mayhem
good
down
idea.
there. Like,
Yeah.
it would be pretty sweet. Just an idea.
Are we waiting for RML to come down and just where they planted grass is just a disaster area. People running through there with their bikes, people running through there with their trikes.
Which is not
Somebody
really
backed up.
RML's fault.
Somebody backed up with a truck.
Yeah. That was the company that came in, the Overall Electric came in to fix the light standard. But we do have plans of leveling the space, and we're looking into pricing from Bowles Feed in Thunder Bay so that we can get very large quantity bags. And Patrick is pretty good with growing grass, so we've been taking care of it internally. I mean, the damage done to the area is not RML's fault.
Oh, no.
So we are dealing with it. It is on our radar, and I mean, you can only grow seed so fast, but we're working on it.
It probably should tape it off.
Absolutely. Yep.
So we're almost there and then we went back a couple steps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. I like your updated priority list.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Dan.
I don't know if I like everything in it, but I like it.
A lot of red.
Me?
There's a lot of red.
Don't like the red.
Really? I've ignored the red.
What are we gonna do with that arena? It's bad.
The arena roof is very bad. And lumber is now exposed where the ice grates have been pulled away from the roof. We've got loose flashing that has been blown in the wind. I've had the guys go up on ladders now twice to remove the loose pieces so that we don't cause injury. But we definitely have water breaching the building.
These, like the repairs or whoever looked into doing the repairs, is that just to repair it back to the way it was? Because like
The ice gates were never installed correctly. They are too close to the edge.
okay.
They should be 5 feet up the roof.
Right, that's my thought, like if we just do it the same as it was, we're gonna end up.
We're not really fixing it, we're only putting a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the company that I reached out for the quote so that I had a number for budget, he indicated that it would be about 63,000 to fix that particular roof, to move the ice gates up. Obviously, it's over the threshold, we'll have to RFP it, but if we go through the RFP process, it's definitely to our benefit to utilize the mob and demob more effectively and get the rest of the roofs done as well.
Well, we've had some, I think some pretty exciting events at the arena, over the past few months, and where people are walking in and there's tape and there's, looks like a
Yeah, I know.
war zone or a crime scene, you know, and that's just the optics, never mind the asset itself and the, you know, the lasting damage we're doing to it by.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look at it for sure. Any other questions on the status update? Hearing none, Director of Operations, Chloe Darling, Public Works Garage.
Recommendation from the Director of Operations to accept the quote from Darling in the amount of $3,940 plus applicable taxes to repair the broken venting for the boiler and tankless water heater at the Public Works Garage.
I talked with Tammy on this one. It seemed like a pretty straightforward fix to me, but there's a lot more to it than just what I was thinking, so.
It's not just going to be the elbows replaced, it's the entirety of the pipe. It's very crumbly, very dry, cracked, and it wasn't the proper material to use in the first place, so it just has to come right from the appliance back out to where it's routed now. That will, once we seal all the holes in the venting, it will also help the appliance work more efficiently.
Okay, makes sense.
So, you want to go ahead with it? The recommendation is to go ahead with it?
Yeah. Good with that.
Okay. Director of Operations report on the grader.
Recommendation here to accept the quotation for repair from Strongco in the amount of $57,093.62 plus applicable taxes for float moves and the replacement of the rear differential on the 2015 Volvo G69TB grader.
Maybe Tammy can just speak to this a little bit? Because the information she provided to me was like excellent. I mean, it makes sense.
So I've got a piece of the gears that came out of the rear differential when we opened up the oil plug. This is indication of sure failure. It's gear teeth. So what happens is when the differential operates the chain gears that will move the tandem tires, there's gears missing, so the one side jumps. It locks up and jumps. Eventually, if we don't address this issue, the grader tires will completely lock up, rendering it inoperable. So it's crucial that we get this fixed. Even if you are looking at trading it in, you won't get anything for it unless the grader is fixed.
And this is just like a freak thing that happened.
It really is.
Like, it's no fault to anyone, really.
Oh no,
the sounds of
it's not operator
Yeah.
failure at all, operator error, not at all. This is just a freak thing.
Then we fix it,
Luck of the draw.
we're gonna get quite a few more hours out of it once it's fixed.
I mean, really, you only have to start doing major maintenance when
Yeah.
you reach 10,000 hours. We're still very low hours on this machine. And, I mean, by all rights, it should present as got a lot of life left in it.
So makes sense to fix it then.
Talking with some of the vendors that provide this construction equipment, it looks like that is becoming an option for some communities to rebuild what they have, and then they're recertified. So,
Like change all the major parts you need and then recertify.
mhm. So, it's not too uncommon with even the amount of work we've done on this machine.
How much use does the grader get through the non-winter time?
Through the summer months, they will use the grader for shouldering, for gravel road grading, but it's definitely the critical piece of equipment for winter months. We can get by with the loader for the summer.
Yeah.
There is 12 weeks lead time on the differential, so by the time you get 12 weeks under your belt, then the repair, we're knocking on the back door of winter already.
Yeah, we need to move on this then right now.
October. That's brutal, I didn't think like that.
It's true.
I have to make sure that your snow is removed. Sorry, Benji.
That's a long way away.
Preemptively, and Tammy's been doing all the research from
Yeah.
leasing to what other methodologies are there. There are a lot of options, but
Expensive.
all
They are.
expensive.
Even the used machines are very expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about a machine has 8,600 hours and how much do they want? 236,000.
Yeah.
Same here.
Would there have been any indication earlier if we would have done some type of oil analysis? Like, just curious,
Yeah.
like as we near the 5,000 hour warranty, is there something we can do to check?
A warranty check.
I will tell you that Corey has great records for his maintenance, and he does change oils regularly. He pulls the diff plug and checks the oil all through that machine. It's well documented.
Yeah.
With these repairs, you will also get some warranty on them.
Yeah. That's good. All right.
All right. I hear ya.
I'm Leary. You're Leary?
Well, I mean, we dumped 71,000 into the transmission, and now we're dumping this into the rear end. I mean, what's next? I mean,
What's left?
I don't know. I think it's the right move to go, I guess, but
Yeah.
It's just weird that you're getting that 5,000, we're just over 5,000 hours on this machine. The company's gonna give you, is there an underlying issue?
I don't know. It just seems everything's so expensive. Is it just nowadays, or did we step up to too big of a grader for this little municipality? Should we be a grader down? Should we have a municipal grader and not a highway grader? Is that what's costing?
I will tell you that the machines that I have researched, both used and new lease, all of those options is for the 700 series grader. So I've come down in size quite a bit, and it's still those prices.
$500,000. Mhm.
No, I think we gotta go ahead with it. Apparently we can't.
And if we fix this grader and decide we do need to downsize, at least it's got some trade-in value to put against a newer used unit.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I was really surprised to hear that again, a lot of people are looking at rebuilding some of these older machines, and it's because with newer machines, you're getting a lot more digital parts, and it's a lot more expensive to fix them when things go wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just worried he rips it apart and he finds more damage.
Well, I will tell you that once he rips it apart, it might be to our advantage to change the seals and bearings on the wheels so that we never have to take it apart again. But we'll look at what kind of condition it's in when they take it apart.
Okay. Go for it. Director of Operations, again, splash pad.
Recommendation here, to enter into a contract with B&D Construction Incorporated, also known as Winmar, in the amount of $49,881.58 plus applicable taxes for the renovations of the washroom facilities at the Schreiber splash pad.
So with this company, they cannot come to do the work until July. But when they do come to do the work, it's only going to take them 2 weeks to do it.
And this is still being covered by that grant, right, Tammy?
Yes.
Well, just seeing, looking at the pictures, it needs to be done, so no way around it.
And it's gonna be covered by the grant. And because they can't come till July,
I have until
It has-
September 30th.
it has to be done in July because we gotta have the money spent by a certain date.
Yep.
Or it goes back to the funder. We don't wanna do that.
No.
Spend every last
What
cent.
about the rest of the contingency? Do we have a plan for that?
Yes.
It's,
It definitely needs it,
yeah.
What's that?
washrooms.
Yeah.
And everything is planned out, right?
Okay.
And same time, we'll also see how this goes and make sure that nothing else pops up.
Yes.
too. So,
We have a little bit in the bank, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Since we're talking about splash pad, I'm gonna go off a little bit here. Can we put I know it's not ours yet, like it's gotta be commissioned, I mean, it's ours, but it's gotta be
Yeah.
commissioned. Can we put the swings on?
No, because when they come at the end of May, they will put all of those swings on, but they need to do their final inspection on that to follow the standards set out for playgrounds.
Thought
So-
I'd ask.
Everything has to be tightened up, everything has to be measured, make sure nothing is moved in the winter. They'll hang all the swings and then commission the park.
And then, so then after that, we're responsible for that?
Yes.
Right.
And you do have certified playground inspectors on your staff.
And then,
That was my next question. That's a great answer, Tammy.
and then the warranty kicks in once they commission it.
Yep,
Right now, it's not, so.
that's right,
But I thought it does.
How much of a warranty?
1 year.
1 year.
So is everybody good with the washrooms then?
Yep.
Okay. Financial and special projects report. Number 5.
There are obviously lots of applications going on behind the scenes. Just providing an update from Finance and Special Projects Coordinator, just so you're aware of just a bit of an insight of what happens behind the scenes there. And we're crossing our fingers for a lot of these grants to come through.
Especially the ones that are 100% funded.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of irons in the fire
Yeah,
there.
that's the thing, everybody's looking for money.
That was a good report. I like that.
Yeah.
one.
There's also the purchase of the merchandise from the Discovery Center in there as well.
So this is the stuff that sold out last year, but then says that it's currently out of stock. So is it in stock, out of stock?
That is out of stock,
Well,
so
we're just putting our order in, so when it's in stock, we get it. Is that what this is? Or am I reading this wrong?
for their quotation,
Oh, it's just currently out of stock
Currently out of
for
stock,
us, not the company.
that's, this is from, the company, so they currently have it out of stock, so we'd have to see what their,
Yeah, that's my question. Are they out of stock or are we out of stock?
we're out of
So
stock.
the-
So they're also out
Oh,
of
they,
stock.
okay.
They're both out of stock.
Okay, I just,
So we'll be in stock when they're in
when,
stock.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I know.
And it's only for that, whistle wood chime, that's.
It's not one whistle,
It's
yeah.
not one particular.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Why does it show, show shit?
Okay, everybody good with the report then?
Yeah.
There's no action on it. Okay, senior programmers.
Okay, I'll cover all that off. So, the senior center had an excursion on, April 22nd. And during a freak snowstorm.
Yeah.
But the bus company apparently was very accommodating and would have canceled with, you know, if they couldn't have made it here, it wouldn't have, I mean, they would have had to cancel the trip because of weather. It wouldn't have been a problem for the bus company, but they did drive down and kept in contact with the senior coordinator on the status of the roads and its progress. So he made it. Everybody was waiting. There was 40 attendees, so they hopped on the bus, went to Thunder Bay, and went for lunch, and went to Magnus Theater and had a great time. They were back here at 6:40 that evening, so all went well. And I may have touched on this last meeting about the Wills and Estates presentation put on by Rosa Carlino. She's a partner with Cheadle's law firm in Thunder Bay. There's 32 people that attended. Good information there for anyone that's interested in wills and planning, financial planning. May 17th is the next blood sugar clinic here in Municipal Complex. So some of the things that are going on, Swedish weaving, Remoli, is doing well. Tuesday coffee time is a great success. So trying to set up licensing, approach the public school with the idea to rent movies, maybe have a movie night going on at some point. They do have a license to rent movies. So the only outstanding grant application was a special grant. There was some revised criteria or revised asks to meet the necessary criteria. I don't know, is there any update on that, Tam?
No, not.
No update on that. And the last thing is senior luncheon tomorrow. The doors open at 11:30. So it's a luncheon for all members of the senior center, free luncheon. And, which is currently at 365 members. So, and there, at the same time, there will be a membership drive going on. Those numbers should go up. That's it.
Okay. That was 6 and 7, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it keeps busy there.
Yeah. I'll go.
Okay, the bylaw officer, report. I like the format of the new report. I told her that tonight before the meeting.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's very good.
It gives us more to go on, for sure.
Did you guys do a drive around prior to spring cleanup next
We
week?
did,
No.
we did. So some people may get notices, and it's just to allow them to take advantage of spring cleanup to clear some junk.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's moving on here. Number 9, Schreiber Public Library Board Meeting.
Anyone have any questions?
I just had one on their strategic plan. Is that done internally?
Yeah.
It is.
So it's done, yeah, by the board. They had their Avid Readers Awards 2 Saturdays ago. It was a nice little ceremony. It was good.
Yeah. Was there one young boy there that read phenomenal amount of books? I think Lynn was telling me.
Yeah, Ross. Ross had the most. Ross, forget his last name. He's like the co-op at the media center now. He had like the most teen hours. I forget what it was. So.
Yeah.
It was nice.
And Dave, the only thing I just thought was that talk about aging, to share that with the Schreiber Senior Center. That looks like that's going to be an excellent program.
Yeah, I saw that in your email there. That's a good idea. Did you share that with Linda then?
I did reach out to Linda, and she said that she was going to discuss that with Kathy, so perfect.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, number 10, Aqua, the Schreiber Water and Wastewater Treatment Systems Report. Anybody got any questions?
Anything jump out at you, Tammy, in that one?
No, both of those reports look good.
Okay.
Okay, we'll move right on into communications then. Number 11, I would support the municipality of Shunya. Although Enbridge is backed off, doesn't mean they're gonna stay backed off.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that one.
And, once they start, everybody's gonna start.
Yeah. Just download it onto the.
$200 charge, I believe it's $200 charge, so I would
Yeah.
definitely, support Shunya in this. Support the resolution.
Okay.
And number 5, the LSHS bursary and corsage sponsorship.
That's something we do every year.
Yep.
There's only 5 students this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Do we have to do something for number 4 there, Nathan? Like-
No, that's pretty much just a notice, know
Yes.
where we're at.
Okay.
Right now, the whole planning regime is really a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So inevitably, we do need to make changes to our official plan and zoning. What the planner is stating is at this point, you might as well just wait to see what they end up settling with all the changes they're doing to the Planning Act and the provincial planning statement, which are the highest tier planning documents.
Yeah.
After that's updated, all our other planning documents will have to be updated as well.
Because he suggested we rescind changes, but we didn't make any changes based on that as of now, have we?
We only made changes to our site plan bylaw, but other than that, we didn't make any changes to zoning.
Okay.
Where there is any sort of difference with our zoning and provincial policy, right? Provincial policy will always trump that.
Did you speak to anything on the Thunder Bay District?
Social Service Board?
Yeah.
It was really business as regular. A couple of things have come up. They've made some adjustments to operating budget, but maybe it's more moving money around than doing much else than that. And that they're undertaking that one new project. That's about what their updates. Well, there wasn't much more that was new. There's another meeting coming up, I think, this coming week. No, sorry, next week.
Okay. Anybody else got anything in communications? No? Okay, move on to unfinished business. Superior Classic Car Club.
Last we left this, it looks like you're deciding what kind of package to consider.
I think the silver package or better, whatever, at least the silver package. If anybody,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only difference is we know in the past.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Silver
Yeah.
and gold, so.
and we get a banner up there, whatever we decide to put on.
Yeah, I got
We have to make the banner though.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think,
Was there like size specifications and stuff like that?
yeah, I think if we are able to send whatever artwork or whatever we need, I'm sure they'll get in touch with us with regards to any sort of requirements and what works for their banner, yeah.
So is everybody okay with the silver package then? And we,
Actually, they clarified there, it says you provide the banner, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's
you
what I
check
mean,
on
like,
the-
but
We'll
like,
have to-
do they have to tell us how big it is?
Yeah, find out.
We made the 100-foot banner.
Yeah.
Pick up the whole.
yeah, and we gotta decide what we're gonna, which will probably be the museum, I would imagine.
Yeah, I would suggest that's a good idea to advertise the Discovery Center.
Yeah, we could find out, Ray would be able to help us with that, right?
Absolutely. We'll get in touch with him and find out all the requirements, and we'll look at making that banner and poster as well, so. But for the poster, we just need to provide the logo, so that will be pretty simple.
But I'm starting to see 3-4 vehicles there. Every time I drive on the highway now, like in the
Right.
parking lot and people walking,
Yeah.
and it's not open, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna get busy again this year, for sure. Okay, if we're okay with that, then that's it for unfinished business. We'll move right into other business. And that's derelict vehicles. Boy, I asked Nathan to put that on I think we gotta really, I think we really gotta go after derelict vehicles this year. Whether that means boots on the ground or whether it means looking and re-looking at, maybe it means both. Maybe it means re-looking at the bylaw, because some people just aren't getting it. Some people have had 2 vehicles last year and they still got them 2 plus another 2. I just don't know. I just don't know where to go from here.
So are they being fined for having,
In
what's the
terms,
process?
in terms of our main method of dealing with derelict vehicles, we use a land maintenance bylaw.
Yeah.
And there are remedy of solutions there. The typical straightforward penalty is a Part 1 fine. I forget the monetary value, but essentially how it would work for compliance is we would send them the notice of violation, send an order to comply to get those vehicles moved. In the past, we did have success with some property owners to get their derelict vehicles moved, and I should say this was actually with several properties. They did end up moving those vehicles after we followed up. Voluntary compliance does work. If you do end up with a Part 1 compliance method, you just have to keep in mind that you're at the mercy of the court system and when they will hear that hearing. I mean, maybe fortunate the person will just pay,
Yeah, that's if
And
they
move
challenge, right?
but likely, right, they'll likely challenge.
So if we told the bylaw officer next week, go out and give everyone a warning who has a derelict vehicle, what's the time frame that you give them to get rid of it?
I went around the majority of individuals under the definition of a derelict vehicle, you know, they're fine, like they pass. The challenge is with that bylaw, it allows people to have 1 derelict vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So there would be perhaps, just off the top of my head, maybe potentially 2 properties, 2 or 3 properties that come to mind that would be having more than 2.
But don't you, even if it's, I could be wrong, don't you not, doesn't have to be enclosed so people don't see it? Or is that not a thing? Even if you have your 1 derelict vehicle, it could be parked in your driveway?
If it's enclosed, it's enclosed. You know what I mean? If
No,
it's
I know,
someone
but if
sees
it's a derelict vehicle not enclosed, that's not okay.
correct. I mean, it's supposed to be only 1
Yeah.
is what's allowed in a yard. So where we can see it,
Mhm.
it's 1.
Okay.
Now you have options, so we can bring forward the what you say land maintenance bylaw to look at. If you wish to, what you say, look at it through that lens. There's other methods of enforcing derelict vehicles, but you don't want to go through the zoning. Again, you could do Part 3 prohibitions on properties, for instance, that do have the derelict vehicles on it. Depending on the number of derelict vehicles, it could be potentially violating the zoning bylaw. It's not really a residential used store derelict vehicles, so.
I think we gotta pull out all reasonable stops to try and get it, because that's not starting, that's been one of the bigger complaints, and rightfully so. Do you need any vehicles, Jan? Like, I'm not.
No, it's worked in the past before. There was 1 year where or even I think 2, where the fire department accepted vehicles as donations for auto extrication courses or just for cutting up practice, and that got us more than we can handle actually. On the 2nd year of that, we were able to collect quite a few vehicles. The problem is I have to have volunteers either go out and winch them onto our trailer, or they have to be driven to the fire hall, in order to be useful. And then we're just paying a scrap metal company to come pick them up. Yeah, when the scrap price was high enough that they made a profit coming out here to get them. So,
Yeah.
so it was successful when we did that.
I mean, it would be trickier now, I guess, with you, because with being fenced in, and unless you.
No, one of the reasons for the fence was so that when all that debris and cut metal and broken glass was on the ground, that, people and animals and dogs weren't back there, risking getting hurt. So,
No, but I mean, it would be
well, as long as we can get them through that.
confined more unless somebody was there when
Yeah,
somebody
to
showed up.
get it in there, we'd have
Yeah.
to be there. But,
Yeah.
but that's generally how it would work anyway.
Okay,
We'd arrange a time and they'd either drive it over and take their plates, or we would tow it ourselves.
So when scrap metal prices were high, did you still have to pay
No,
they would come
they would
down?
just come pick it up.
Or scrap metal prices now?
That I don't know.
Maybe that's something we could look into, and maybe offer an opportunity to get rid of your vehicle if somebody's gonna come down and pick it up.
Another program we had that was successful was we would collect them, but we'd move them directly to the Terrace Bay landfill site on a scrap pass, because otherwise you have to pay to bring your vehicle there. And a lot of people weren't doing it because they didn't want to pay to get rid of the car. So we would put on that it was a donation to the fire department. We'd stick it in a separate row at the back, and then we'd use it for practice there directly. And that saved us having to move it a second time.
I was just, the vehicle, derelict vehicles, can they go to the landfill during spring cleanup free?
That I'm not sure of.
Yeah, I'm not sure of that, but.
I can't remember, but maybe we should look into, sitting here thinking, maybe we should look into, off the top of my head again, Miller Boyce or Cardiff, or with his flatbed there. Like Dan said, maybe the price of scrap metal is up enough that them guys want them, and they take them for a price, like.
Like, that is revenue for the landfill, right, scrap metal?
Yes, it is.
So if we got the vehicles there, perfect, like it's revenue for landfill, and it's.
Yeah, we can get, if one or two of them are willing to grab like, I mean, it's gonna be for themselves, it won't be going to the,
Yeah.
wouldn't be going to the Terrace Bay landfill, but you get no Schreiber.
Yeah, well, that's the whole key to the whole thing, get the
But I
money
mean,
one way or the other,
we have to find out for sure if derelict vehicles, I think they're free in the spring cleanup, and if they're free in the spring cleanup, maybe we should be putting that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the derelict vehicles, right, what is currently done, right, at Terrace Bay is they keep them in a pile there, and eventually they collect enough that they can eventually get either do checks to come in, right, and take them all, but don't really know what the going price is for these scrap vehicles, but it's something to look at, and I think we could do that research. One, we can see what sort of service providers out there to pick up these vehicles, and B, we can look at what else we can do on the enforcement side.
Sorry, I feel like there still has to be a repercussion, or else these people are just gonna hoard them again and say, oh, the township's just gonna get rid of it once I have it here for 5 years.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did last time. I think to stop it, a fine needs to be given.
No, I think it's gotta be done this year,
Yeah.
but all options, like, we could.
No, I know, but I'm saying it's gotta be two things. I think
Yes.
you get fined, and then we'll try to help you get rid of it, but in the meantime, pay your fine, and don't do it again.
And
Yeah.
that's really the
No, I
method
agree.
of our
I
voluntary
agree with that.
compliance,
Yeah.
right? We try, and we can't necessarily provide advice, but if we know that these service providers are there, we can say, hey, these service providers will, do this work in order to get it removed. Or if it stays there, right, you're gonna get a fine.
Yeah, the direction from council is
Yeah.
their patience is run out and that's it.
Yeah, and
The,
we don't, again, it's like with everything, we don't want to fine anybody, but they're leaving us no,
Is what it is.
that you currently allow one derelict vehicle, is that something you wish to continue? Keep in
One
mind,
covered derelict vehicle or one just,
keep in
I
mind,
can have a derelict vehicle in my front yard.
yeah, and I'll just
That's
say,
how the bylaw reads?
it says that you can have, yeah, if it's what you say, if it's anywhere out in the public, this is the main thing to keep in mind. The aesthetics from a common law perspective is not the issue. It's the health and safety that's the issue. If you're trying to regulate aesthetics, that isn't, you don't have much teeth for that.
No.
So it's potentially environmental concerns or, right, health and safety,
Yeah.
nuisance-related concerns from it, which are more relevant from your common law side for enforcement. So to answer that, there is some sort of gray area in terms of once we are aware of a derelict vehicle, we have to look at it. Is it a health and safety issue? Is it a nuisance? And follow up on that with that lens.
Okay.
So depending on where it is.
Yeah, I get it.
And you know what, if it's secured properly in someone's garage,
Yeah, who cares?
it's much less of a nuisance, much less of a health and safety issue. I mean, no one can just approach it, right?
Yeah.
Kept nice and secure. So it's a bit of, not so much black and white.
But you know what, Nathan? Anything stored in a garage is secure.
Yep.
Anything not stored in a garage is 100% an environmental problem.
Yep.
There's fluids in that vehicle, it's leaking on the ground, get it out of your driveway, away you go.
So,
I agree.
the tricky thing right now is, right, you're saying one of those is not that much of a safety concern, but two is, right? So it's a bit contradictory in terms of the intent.
Yeah, what's the definition of a derelict vehicle? It's not
Yeah,
plated.
that's a good question.
Yeah.
there is a definition there, I just
There
can't
is.
remember.
It's a combination of those elements, right? It's, again, yeah, not plated, not registered.
Maybe we better take a look at the bylaw in that next meeting, but in the meantime, we would really appreciate some cooperation, really, and try and get the town looking better anyway. You know, yeah, we'll look at them options. Some of them options that we said tonight. But I think we gotta get serious on it.
Well, you're getting lots of, I mean, I don't know how many complaints.
Yeah,
We're getting complaints, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
people are
Like,
upset about it.
I can tell you certainly from the enforcement side, if we don't have any, it'll be much easier to enforce this. Because it's a bit contradictory if you're gonna allow one and then, say, now two is too much.
Right. You see people just dropping off a smashed car in their yard now. And like Anne Marie said, like anything leaking or whatever, it's environmental.
And just the environmental liabilities and basically our responsibilities are just significant at this time, especially our involvement to report any spills. We have to do that right away, so.
Well, it sounds like we need to change how the bylaws work.
Yeah, that might be right too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of a few things that, for sure, bring that, next meeting, for sure.
Whatever gets rid of the gray is, I'm totally for that. Black and white is way.
Yeah, I mean, it is, like I was saying right now, I understand the intent you wanted to move towards what you say, limiting the derelict vehicles. Right now you allow one. You don't want to see any derelict vehicles, right? If you go down to, it has to be stored out of sight or removed. That will definitely make it much more straightforward to enforce.
Yeah, we'll look at it, from all options, maybe even, have Karen in here. We'll see.
Okay.
Okay, that's a wrap then. That's, did I forget anything? Add on? So that'll be the end of, resolution 187-23, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that the meeting now adjourned at 8:32. All those in favor?